Hello everyone, welcome back. So the time has finally come. We're gonna tune this thing, put it on the dyno, see what kind of power it makes. But first, we gotta clean it. It's been sitting outside for the last month or so, and it's filthy, as you can see. We need to do an oil change. It's got 1,700 miles on the second oil change, which is still kind of breaking oil. And we need to do a compression test just before we dyno it. And then if everything looks good, off we go. I've been driving it the way it is for a little while. It's definitely not good. Let's just say the tune kind of sucks right now. It's very bucky. The idle will hang when you get out of gear, and it's just a bunch of weird stuff, but I'm pretty confident that it's mostly just tune related. So let's get this thing cleaned, and then we'll move on to the next step, do an oil change.
Yeah. Yo, man. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Sun on the hood, soap in the tray. I got that shine on a Saturday. Rag in my hand, grin on my face. Mirror like chrome in a little parade. Look how it rolls, look how it gleam. I clean it up, then I hit the stream. Tap, 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 watch me go. Pull up close, let the whole world know. Washing my Corvette for people on the net. Washing my Corvette, yeah, they ain't seen it yet. Yeah. Washing my Corvette for people on the net. Washing my Corvette, say it with your chest. Bucket gets low, bubbles get wild. Neighbors lean in like, hold up, child. Tires all black, paint so fresh. I wax that ride like I'm in that flex. Phone on the stand, views go up.
96,069 miles. Looks damn good. Sounds damn good. Let's do an oil change. We're gonna drain the oil, cut the filter open, see how she looks. And we'll put her back down. We'll do the compression test and spark plug check. All right, here we go. Let's cut the filter open and take a look. Once again, if you're a car person and you build engines or you care about your engine, and you ever check your filter at least once, you should buy a filter cutting tool. This thing was like under $20 on Amazon, and I've used it more times than I can count. Small chunks. Really tiny. Not zero, but small. Again, this is only the second oil change since the engine was built, so there's bound to be some clearancing. All right, let me come back with you when I get this cut open. Okay, first look here. The paint that I used after I torqued things appears to be coming off as well. Mostly that's what I see is the yellow paint. There's small chunks of metal, but nothing I can even show you on camera yet, so that's good. Well, there's one chunk that you could probably see. It looks like bearing material. Similar color on that piece, but those are the only two that you might even be able to see on camera. Cool, that's good. That's a good bill of health. I think for the second oil change, that's actually pretty great, if I'm honest. And then the ones on the edge here, try and center it in the camera for you. Right there on this edge, those are the two pieces. You can't make them out. I'll see if they're ferrous. I'm guessing they're bearing material. I mean, there's definitely a pretty decent amount of stuff in here, but I do think most of it is paint, but not all of it. Either way, it's not big chunks, so we are gonna proceed forward. All right, so it's been some time. So we got the oil change completely done, got the car back on the ground. Before I did that, I noticed that the AC belt was coming off. I struggled getting that back on. There's just not a lot of space. And I got the spark plugs out once I got that finished and found an issue. So here we are. These are all the ones that came out of it. If you look here, you'll notice there's a crack in the porcelain on this one. Now, I've been noticing a bit of a hesitation, what feels like a miss when I drive the car. Now, I just assumed that was due to it not having a good tune. It's entirely possible it could have been this. It might not be anything, but I don't have one of these plugs. I have a lot of spark plugs here, but these are a 6 NGK, and I don't have a lot of those. I have 7s and 5s. So what I have done is I'm going to replace this 6 with an iridium, and then tomorrow I'm going to go buy another spark plug. But we're going to do a compression test, and then throw those plugs in there and clear the engine codes and just see how it drives, because it's possible that, you know, fixing that spark plug could fix a different issue. But let's do the compression test, see what the results are there. All right, it's midnight. We got the compression test done. Show you the numbers here on the screen. Everything looked really good, minus the one broken spark plug. All the cylinders, save for the passenger, I think second one back, was like 20 PSI lower than all the other ones. All things considered, this was an engine out of a truck with a head issue, where it actually smacked the piston, if you remember from the first video. So the car's clean, the car's oil changed, we got a good plug in there, and it is ready to drive. Tomorrow being Mother's Day, I am going to meet my mother for dinner with my brother, and planned on taking this out there and hoping that it runs a little better than it did before now that we fixed that spark plug. But time will tell. So I'll probably catch back with you in the morning. I may take this to Cars and Coffee and then head out. So I'll get you a cold start, and then we will go for a little drive. Okay, I think the broken spark plug was probably 75% of the issues with this car. Now that we have that replaced, this thing feels like a rocket. Check this out. Wow. It revs out so much smoother. That's insane. It would like sputter and just feel like it wanted to die in anything like full throttle above 4,000 RPM. Like every once in a while I can catch it and it would be kind of smooth. This now, like it feels like 500 horse, which, I mean, this combo is supposed to make about 500 to the crank, you know, somewhere 450 to 475 at the wheels, but that feels every bit of 450 easy. All right, I forgot all of my camera stuff, but at least you got some kind of a view. It's pretty decent. Let's do some fun driving. Best car I've ever owned. That's a giant tree. Love it. All right, here's some proof that we had a good time driving the car after we fixed it. A lot of dead bugs. But that means we got to wash it again before tuning day. right, so as you saw, we got the car done. The most important thing is drivability. That's really what I wanted. The car's so light, it doesn't take a ton of horsepower to feel fast. I will admit I was hoping for 450, but to be honest, like, I have a really fast car. The Nova's super fast and enjoyable to me. What I would love is a car that's enjoyable to my wife. Something that she can get in and drive, turn the AC on, turn the, you know, heated seats on, like whatever she wants. I want the car to be able to do it if it's capable. And that was the most important thing. So that's why we stuck with this computer. That's why we, you know, took it to the guy who knows how to tune, as opposed to me just doing a mail order tune or something, or getting HP tuners and trying to do it myself. A myriad of things. Anyways, this concludes the tuning section of the car. Next steps are driving it. So we just want to enjoy it for a while. Eventually it will get a supercharger. I will say that he was expecting 20 more wheel is what he said. The ring gap is pretty big on the rings, and I did that intentionally because when I put the blower on it, I don't want to have any issues. So that is a potential location for loss of power. The other one would be the intake adapter. Probably would have made more sense just to put an LS3 intake on it, but the other thought process behind that was I couldn't fit the LS7 covers. Not that I'm trying to fool anybody, but it just was a part of the car. And, you know, now that I've driven the car and taken it to shows, I don't think I would put the LS7 covers on it. I think I would just not try to fool anyone. What else? This is just the start, right? I mean, the car has a lot of potential. It's only 3,100 pounds, and we have a more or less bulletproof engine up to what I was told is recommended power for this chassis of around 750 to have fun every day and not worry about every single part of it having a problem or being unsafe. So I think if we can get closer to that level, we'll have a lot more fun. But right now, I'm just happy to be driving the car because A, I never thought I'd own one of these. B, I never thought that it would sound the way that it does and look the way that it does if I did ever own one. I thought it would be a base model. So I'm extremely happy, and you know, the fact that I can just get out, drive it, beat the shit out of it, not worry about, you know, the $15,000 LS7 that I have, you know, potentially grenading at any given time. I still think I made the right choice with the LS3, and once I get the blower on there, I think you'll agree too. But 500 to the crank, right around 500. It's healthy. It's a really healthy combo, and you know, if I don't do anything else to it ever, it'll just stay the way that it is and just run forever. There we go. If I think of something else, I'll follow up with you.